We're kicking it with some pretty cool people today. Here to tell us about the Ascension Flight Soccer Club is the Executive Director, Bobby Capewell. Bobby, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So we're so happy to have you here, and we want to let people know about this awesome recreational activity here in our parish and for our community.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about how does the Ascension Flight's mission shape the culture and experience of the Flight family?
Yeah, so it's been something we've been working on for a while now, really making sure that we live through the mission of the club. Our mission is to provide players soccer opportunities, making sure that we do it in a fun and safe way, while making sure that we develop, every single player as holistically as possible. We just recently created our player development philosophy and teaching and learning philosophy. And the really cool thing about it, in my opinion, is we've put the human at the center of all of this. So even though we're teaching soccer, it's also about making sure that we teach the human being in all of this as well. At the end of the day, the way that we look at the players and everybody who's a part of the community is they're the next generation of leaders within our community. Let's make sure that we do a good job with them.
And I think a part of that is the way that you scape and scope how the players transition from league to league.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about how they go from the first flight recreational league through the academy and into the competitive program.
Yeah, for sure. So everything that we do at the soccer club's age group oriented. So our under 4 first flight program, for example, with our 3-year-olds, it's story-based learning. Kids at that age really don't know what soccer is. They just see a ball and a goal and they just want to play. So we do a lot of story-based learning. Sometimes they go on an adventure out of space. Sometimes they go to the supermarket, to Chick-fil-A, or sometimes they get to be their favorite superhero. So we do a lot of story-based learning at under 4. And then at under 5, under 6, under 7, we then do a bunch of stuff on the recreational side where players are really just them and the soccer ball. That's really how we kind of work it during those age groups. When the players then move into under 8, under 9, under 10, we then have our academy program, and then under 11 and under 12, they then move into the competitive program. Our main focus moving into these next few years, Rae'ven, is we really want to make sure that our coaches are delivering the experience that we think is really, really necessary for the kids in Ascension Parish. So to do that, we've got a few parameters that we are going to be setting going into the future. Kind of like things that I've just touched on, making sure that with the young ones, under 5, under 6, they're just playing with them and a soccer ball. That's why they're out there. They don't want to share the soccer ball with other people. They just want it to themselves. It's quite funny when you see a 5 and a 6-year-old try and share a soccer ball with somebody else. They get really upset. So let's make sure that we keep it just them and a soccer ball. Under 7, under 8, we can then begin to share the soccer ball. Under 9 and under 10, what we do a lot of the time is we tend to work in groups of 2s, 3s, and 4s. And kids come out to the soccer fields to play soccer. So a lot of the stuff that we do under 9 and under 10 within our academy program is exercises and activities that look like soccer. And then we hopefully push them off onto the competitive side of things. And if we've done a good job, then they should be in a pretty good place.
And that's what I was going to get to next. The Flight Academy emphasis on player development and growth without that pressure of winning and losing and those outcomes. How do you guys manage that and balance that, preparing those soccer players?
Yes, it's not easy. It's not an easy balance. There's lots of variables and lots of outside influence about, why don't we prioritize outcomes versus learning. The best way I can explain it is we define success a little bit differently, and it's a little bit more age appropriate. It's really important for us to make sure that we go through the stages of every single age appropriately. For example, if we've got an 8-year-old named little Jimmy, success for him might be controlling the ball and dribbling past somebody and keeping the ball. That could be success. For a 12-year-old little Susie, success could be completely different. Success for her could be playing a 30-yard pass forward to another player on her team. One of our under 17, under 18 teams, success for them might look like, hey, you're in a final this weekend. Here are our objectives. We want to go ahead and win it. So we're going to prioritize a few things over something else. So it's really about defining what we do at a certain period in time with the players that we've got and making sure that we build it up progressively so that when they do reach an age of under 19, under 20, and they're at college and they're playing, they've got the necessary skill set to be able to be successful.
It's definitely different and it's innovative. And one of the more recent innovative things that you guys have done is creating the Ascension Fall Classic Tournament in 2023. Tell
Yes.
me a little bit about how you guys came up with that, what inspired it, and what opportunities does that bring?
Yeah, so the Ascension Fall Classic is basically an extension of a previous tournament that we had in place called the Balloon Cup. We partnered with the Balloon Festival and we did the Balloon Cup on the same weekend. That way then, we can celebrate things that are going on inside of Ascension Parish, both on the soccer side of things, but also what Ascension Parish has to offer. That's really a big thing that we like to do with a lot of things at the club, making sure that we partner with other people inside of the parish. So that way then we can keep all the good stuff here inside of the parish. So yeah, it was an extension of a previous tournament that we had in place. And it provides opportunities for people in the greater Ascension Parish area to be able to stay local for a soccer tournament rather than traveling 90 minutes away, having to, stay overnight over there. People can now do it here. And then, on the opportunity side, we're always looking to partner with, again, local organizations who want to support the mission of what we're looking to do, of why we're looking to do it, and making sure that, we then get those partners out in front of everybody so that way then people know who are supporting us and who's supporting the club.
Yeah, I think a lot of people here, when you talk about staying local, they really garner that Ascension proud community.
Absolutely.
They want to support, they want to help. And so why is it important to have sponsorships and community partnerships to help grow and fund this program? If you had to really speak to people who aren't backing you already and get them to get in on that, what would you tell them?
Community is a huge part of what we do, and it's going to continue to be a big part of what we do in the future. Partnering with other local organizations allows for us to keep programs as affordable as possible. It allows for us to maintain our standards of how we're currently operating, while also making sure that the players receive what they need on the soccer field. So it helps us out administratively, it helps us out on the operations side, it helps us fund all the technical programs that we've got going on at the club currently. But it also allows for us to be able to engage with other non-profit organizations or for-profit organizations in the area and begin to work together collaboratively. We had a really good meeting yesterday with another non-profit in town with a program that we've already set up. I wish I could say more about it, but the details aren't really finalized yet. But just being with other organizations who are inclined to want to give back to the community was really, really positive to be with. So yeah, the sponsorship side of things, the bottom line, they help the club run, they help the club function. And without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do every single year.
And it's so important for you to be here today telling us and telling the community about that, because we want to keep something like this going. It's so unique.
Yep.
Especially unique in the fact that you have something for all ages. Adults can get in.
Yes.
There's some adult programs. Tell me about that.
Yes, we've got our adult co-ed league, which plays every single Sunday. It's a little bit challenging, having adults, continuing to play. Some of them are still living through their heyday period. So yeah, every Sunday we've got our adult co-ed league. It's a nice little way to finish off the weekend. It's really cool actually, just because nobody's out there during that time of the Sunday evening. All the games are done, so it's cool seeing those out there. We're in a place right now where we're still building the adult league. So we've got a couple of changes that we want to make in the future. We really just want it to be a fun community league where people go there on a Sunday evening. They don't have to worry about waking up, covered in bumps and bruises the next day. They can just wake up, go to work, and look forward to seeing their friends the following Sunday. So hopefully over the next few years, we begin to do a good job at keeping as many players playing for as long as possible, so that when these 18-year-olds become 19 and 20 and 21, they've got somewhere to play.
It's cool because people usually do things all of their life, and then at a certain point, if you're not pro, you kind of have to give that up and let them find something recreational to do. So that's so good that you offer that. And you offer things for a lot of the people that are involved in the game of soccer. You have a coach's corner, a referee's corner, a player's corner. Tell me about this and how that helps support everyone who's kind of plugged in to the sport.
Absolutely. So this is an area right now that we're looking to really expand and streamline over the next few years. And it's making sure that everybody feels supported along the way. Whether you are a parent who just wants to begin to know, how can I best support my 5-year-old? How can I best support my 10-year-old? How can I best support my 17-year-old? Whether you're a coach who's trying to understand how we want the experience for these players to be delivered. Whether you're a referee, whether you're an administrator, a team manager, a volunteer, we want this to be the centralized place where everybody goes to in order to feel supported. So we want to have that place being where we have all of our resources. So over the next few years, we're really looking to streamline some things. Right now, we've got a cool program going on at the club with we've created some rubrics for our coaches of how we want them to begin to focus on delivering the overall soccer experience at Ascension Parish. And when we have those things finalized, that'll be the platform that we put things on.
And so Ascension Parish Recreation and the Ascension Parks Foundation and in places and things like that in our parish, they're plugged into this. Tell me a little bit about how Ascension Parish supports the Ascension Flight Soccer Club, and where can parents and kids go to play and join here in our parish?
Yeah, I think it really starts with the relationship and the focus of the relationship that we've had ever since we moved out to the Cajun Industry Soccer Complex with former recreational director Michael King, current recreational director Brandon Smith. I think just letting them in and communicating with them on, here is where we're currently at. We know that we're not perfect, but here is where we're trying to get to. So having that relationship and having people who really understand the difficulties and the complexities that come with running a soccer club. You know, a lot of the time you're understaffed and outmanned. You know, you've got so many people who are a part of this big, huge projects that you have. And at times you feel like you don't have enough people. So just having the support, but also having those relationships is really important. So we get a lot of support there just through a genuine understanding of the things that we're trying to achieve. But we also get the help as well. A lot of the time when I talk with Parish Recreation about things that we're trying to do, the next question is usually, okay, how can I help?
Yeah.
So that's huge. And I know you just brought up the Ascension Parks Foundation. I want to touch on them for a little bit. They're we've partnered with them for the next 2 years. A portion of the proceeds of every jersey that we sell at the soccer club is going to be donated towards the Ascension Parks Foundation. When I first heard about the Ascension Parks Foundation a few years ago, I was really excited about it. I fully understand the mission of what they're trying to do and how it's going to affect so many people in this parish. So it's our objective to try and see how we can help the Parks Foundation get out there in front of more people to begin to spread the wider message of what they're trying to accomplish. And then they're also going to bring us along the way in some of the things that they do much better than we do. So yeah, I think the Ascension Parks Foundation is a great accomplishment for this parish. You know, it's a project that has been created by Ascension Parish people for Ascension Parish people. You know, I think that's really cool.
You talked about the journey of coming here and growing and developing players.
Yeah.
What is one of your most recent successes that you really want to tap on, and where do you look to go from there?
Yeah, I wish I could really boil it down to one, but there's several that we've really lifted off with this year. You know, one of them being the Parks Foundation community partnership that we've established. That's really, it's going to be a fun thing that we get to deliver on over the next couple of years. I would say another one was the Top Soccer program that we've recently rolled out this year. That was an excellent program that we rolled out. It's funny, sometimes we spend so much time talking about a program that we want to roll out, and there's so much anxiety behind, well, what if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? But we were able to deliver on it. I think it was during the month of April. And the first thing that we all said after was, why didn't we do this earlier? You know, seeing these kids, seeing these players, and seeing the way that we created the program and how everybody was enjoying it, it made it so enjoyable that we just then wanted to go and do it again. So getting the Top Soccer program up and running was huge. And I would say another one that was really important, this is more on the administrative side, was we've agreed on a 3-year strategic plan that we're going to be putting into place that's going to look to improve 5 things across the club. One of them is going to be retention. How can we begin to improve retention and begin to understand a lot more about, you know, why people play soccer, why some people decide that they don't want to play soccer, and finding out what things can we begin to do to retain and make sure that we're providing really good, positive, fun opportunities for the players. Another part is going to be, how can we further embed ourselves in the parish? I know I'm here today talking with you, but as a soccer club, we never used to be like that. We used to pride ourselves on how we took care of ourselves. But what we started to recognize was we're limiting the opportunity and the possibility of the soccer club growing. So it's really about how can we now create as many connections to our parish as possible. So that's another objective that we've got. Obviously, we want to improve things on the soccer side. That is, that's a no-brainer there. We're always looking to improve that stuff. We want to begin to host events as a club, where the events give back to the people who really help us function. The volunteer coaches, the board, the parents of the club. We want to begin to create events that, give back to them and say thank you. And then the final part of the strategic plan is beginning to diversify how the club operates. We don't just want to be known as a soccer club. We want to get out there and be a part of volunteering opportunities. We want to be a part of, one event that we're looking to do in the future is the Run for a Cause in Donaldsonville in November. We want to be a part of that, and we want people to see that we're not just a soccer club. Soccer is just the vessel that we use to move through all of this. We're a community organization, and that's what we want to focus on, enriching, everybody who wants to be a part of our community.
That sounds absolutely amazing. We look forward to seeing you in the community. We look forward to seeing the soccer players that you developed. And I look forward to getting in on this jersey give back situation. I definitely want to get a jersey. They're really cool.
Absolutely.
And get in and be a part of that. If anyone wanted to join your mission, where can they find more information about you guys?
Yeah, www.ascensionflight.org is the best place to find us. All of our email addresses are on there for people to, if they wanted to reach out, if they've got any questions. So yeah, and then obviously follows us on Facebook, Ascension Flight Soccer Club. And if they've got any questions, all they need to do is reach out.
All right. Well, it's so good kicking it with you today. Learning more about the Ascension Flight Soccer Club. Definitely something that we want to get out to the community, more awareness about. And we look forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. And if you want to learn more about the Ascension Flight Soccer Club, that information will be located on your screen. We'll see you next time.